Hi everyone, I'm Ben Gonzalez. This is TDI. So today we're going to give you a combo of sorts. With the holidays fast approaching, we thought we'd give you some tips to help avoid insurance claims by being safe. We're going to talk to officials with the State Fire Marshal's Office and with TDI's fraud unit, starting with Austin Ament from the State Fire Marshal's Office. Hi, Austin.
Hey man, how you doing?
Doing okay. So we know that cooking is something that's integral to Thanksgiving. What is the problem with people being in the kitchen when they aren't there regularly?
Well, as we all know, cooking fires are the number one cause of fire in our homes, and according to the NFPA, Thanksgiving is the number one day for those cooking fires to occur in the home. So it's important to be just kind of be aware of what's going on in the kitchen. You've got people there that you don't normally have there, and people who aren't used to being in the kitchen, myself included. It's just important to go over a few safety tips about that.
I didn't even know that Thanksgiving was the number one day for those home fires, but that makes perfect sense.
Like I said, just one of those days where just everybody's in the kitchen and everybody's using their kitchen.
So how do we go about preventing fires?
So one of the best things you can do is to always pay attention to your cooking. Don't ever leave cooking unattended. Don't go out of the kitchen to look at something. Stay with what you're cooking, and make sure that you're using the back burners if you can, and turn your pans inward so somebody doesn't come by and hit something off or something like that. And then when you are cooking, make sure you're wearing tight clothing. Nothing like loose. Don't cook in your bathrobe or anything like that, because that stuff can dangle down and get into the fire.
So what do we do if something does suddenly catch fire?
So if something does catch fire on your stovetop, it's always important to smother the fire and then to remove it from the source of heat. Don't throw anything on it. Don't throw water on it. Just smother it with a pan and remove it from the source of heat. And that'll take care of about 99% of your stovetop fires.
So make sure that you have your lids handy for each pan.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other rules to remember? What about keeping kids away from the stove and such?
So what we always say is keep a 3 foot safe zone away from the stove. So if you have kids in the kitchen, people running around, make sure that they're not anywhere near the stove. And even just you're going to have more people in your kitchen. So it's a good idea just to, we've been practicing social distancing all year long. This is the time to show what you've learned. Like make sure you just have some room to maneuver about the kitchen and keep people 3 feet away from things that are cooking.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, Austin. Good tips. So now we're going to talk about some ways to help prevent theft, both at home and on the road. And joining us is Jesse Castillo from the TDI Fraud Unit. Hello, Jesse.
Hey Ben, how you doing?
Doing good today. So if I am leaving the house, either for a short time or to visit somebody in another city, what can I do to help prevent break-ins at the home?
Okay, sure. Yeah, we should always be cautious of our safety, especially in our home when we're leaving for any extended periods of time, but even short periods of time for that matter. We want to be cautious to lock our doors, our windows, make sure the garage doors is closed and secured, and because it doesn't take long for a thief to come in and clear you out of all your valuables. If you have an alarm, I recommend you use it. If you have some of the newer technology like the Ring, some of these newer technologies will provide you with an alert to your phone via email or text messages, and maybe even a video of what's happening at your house at that moment. And you can watch your cameras in real time with that system. If you're going to leave home again for an extended period of time, it'd be a good idea to have a loved one or a neighbor collect your newspapers, your mail. And if you're expecting any packages to be delivered while you're gone, you want to have them tracked so that when they do get to your doorstep, you can have whoever's watching your house secure it away for you. In some cases, people have an extra vehicle. You want to give the key to your neighbor, maybe drive it around the block every day, position it in different spots to, again, all to give the appearance that the house is being lived in and occupied. That's something you could do. With your indoor and outdoor lights, it's be wise to have an automatic timer for them to go on at a certain time. You want them to go on before it gets dark, and you want them to go off when there's daylight. Again, all giving the appearance that someone's at the house. You want to leave maybe a radio playing or your television playing. That way they can see it appears that there's movement in the house. And What you don't want to do is leave, if you have gifts in your house, you don't want to leave them in plain view for someone walking by your window
Right.
to see. You'll want that secured and put away somewhere else. And some things that people do with social media nowadays, like say they live in Austin and they're going to go to Dallas, they check in via social media, say checking in Dallas. Well, that's a huge clue. You're not at the house for anybody that's paying attention to your social media page. That wouldn't be wise to do.
Right. Broadcasting that you're out of town is never a good idea. I hadn't heard about having somebody move your car around. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Speaking of cars, are there any ways to prevent break-ins in the vehicles themselves?
Sure. The biggest thing, and again, this is something we should always be doing. Never leave valuables in your car. Never leave them in plain sight. Don't leave your purse, your wallet, your laptop, anything of value, your credit cards. Don't leave them in the car where they can be plainly seen. Those are just going to give the thieves the opportunity to take them away from you and steal them. If you do leave the valuables in the car, you're going to want to secure them in the trunk. And you're going to want to secure it in advance. If you're going to go to the mall or something, you don't want to be putting stuff in the trunk at your destination.
That's a good point about the malls. I was also thinking about, Black Friday may be different this year, with the pandemic, but it's traditionally a time when people start their shopping season for the holidays. What can we do to avoid problems in the parking lots?
Yeah, again, it goes back to not leaving anything in plain sight. If you have packages, your gifts, or whatever it is that you have, or the valuables that we previously discussed, never leave them in plain sight. Mm-hmm. Secure them in the trunk of your vehicle. If you have an SUV, most of them come with some kind of a little cover that you can pull over to secure, so they can't see down inside the vehicle. You want to be sure to locate your keys prior to getting to your car. When you're leaving the mall or the store, have them in your hand. You want to have, if it's a lady, have a purse, some kind of bag or gifts in general. You want to hold them close with your non-dominant hand. You want to hold them close to yourself. And then you want to have your keys in your other hand as you're getting close to your vehicle so that you can just get in the vehicle as soon as you can. You'll always want to be aware of your surroundings. As you're approaching the mall, you want to know where you're at. You want to park in a well-lit area. If you can park where you can see your vehicle from the store that you're in, that would be a good idea to do. And if when you're at the mall, you feel unsafe, well, one thing to do is you can ask the mall or the store security to get you to their vehicle, provide an escort for you. Biggest thing is don't be a victim.
Right.
Be aware. Don't be so caught up looking down at your phone and absorbed in your phone that you're not paying attention to your surroundings. Thieves look for easy targets. So if you're walking around confidently, you're aware, and you're not absorbed by your phone, you're going to be a harder target for a thief. And just looking down and being absorbed by your phone is never a good idea when it comes to personal safety.
Yeah, that's good. Any time of the year, you want to be aware of your surroundings and not looking down all the time. Well, thanks, Jesse. Those are good tips. So hopefully you won't need any of these tips and you'll have a safe holiday season. But if you have an insurance claim that you need to make, or you have just a question about your insurance, we can help you there. You can start on our website. It's tdi.texas.gov, or you can call our helpline, which is 1-800-252-3439. So for Austin Ament and Jesse Castillo, I'm Ben Gonzalez. This is TDI.